Okay, we're gonna start here from scratch and build the shape using the shape builder. And even though I didn't say this, let's go ahead and throw in a margin just to show that it can be done. Once we've got the shape built, what I'll do is bring in the flower vase that I wanted to have, which was, I believe, turned 4 by 10. So we'll bring that in and place it over on the die where we want it to be. And then we're gonna just mirror that over to the other side so that we've got it on both. Okay, now that we've got that done, let's contour this die so that we can create a panel from that. Um, we'll grab just the inside piece now and run quick panels to create a double line filled panel. Click both of those check boxes and away it goes. I'll let that run through real quick, and when that's done, let's go to the email and grab the text. I don't want to type it all in, so we'll just copy and paste it. So copy that, go back to draw, paste, okay. And now that we've got the text, I'm going to break it all apart so that it's all on separate lines. A lot of times when I do the text up in the top, I'm going to do, let's say, like a all caps over Marco. This is a bit too long, so let's bring it down to maybe 3/4 of an inch. Looks pretty good. And we wanted to fit that up here in the top to the curve, so we'll do that there. And I'm just going to zoom in to show you here a little bit better. There we go, just brought it down to where I wanted it to be. That works for me. And we'll bring the rest of this text out over here. I'm going to separate out the family name as well so that it's on its own line. And I don't know, let's do that at maybe 2 1/4 looks pretty good. We'll do maybe 1.5 inches for the first name, and let's do 1 1/4 for these names. Now that we've got the text sized the way that we want, let's go ahead and throw in even spacing in between each of those lines. We'll just do 1 inch space. That'll do us pretty good. And once that's done, what we're going to do is bring in the images that we wanted to trace. Okay, so that's completed. I'm just going to center this also to the die. So now it's all centered. Now I can bring in the pieces that I want to create or duplicate. And let's find those really quick here. It was a Silverado and the rubbing. And we'll just bring in both at the same time to make it easier. Put the rubbing in that corner, put the Silverado over here in this corner, and because it's got all that extra stuff around the back of it, I'm just going to crop that all out. We don't really need it, and it kind of gets in the way, so crop that photo, and then I'll just drag this over to where I want it to be roughly. You can probably move it later once it's done. Okay, so now it's time to go ahead and create both of these things. First, what I'm going to do is just convert this to a bitmap the size that I want, and then I'm going to edit that bitmap, and it's going to pull this straight into Corel Photo Paint where I can go ahead and trace over the top of it. I find that it's just a lot easier to do it this way rather than trying to do it line by line, I guess. By adjusting the brightness and contrasty, I can create a nice tracing paper effect here. And then I'm going to get started, grab my brush tool and start tracing it. Now this is obviously going to take a while, so I'm going to skip straight to the final product, but this is basically what you do, is trace around it like this. As soon as you're done, you click save and it sends that straight back into CorelDRAW. So I'll just show you here that it popped it back in, but I'm going to bring in the final result really quick. Okay, after about 15 to 20 minutes you should have something that looks similar to this. I'm just going to trace that, which is going to take what I created in Photo Paint and go ahead and turn that into a vector image that can be cut on the plotter. And I will fill it in the way that I want it to be. So I've got that created the way that I want. Let's put it up on the top. I don't know where we're going to end up with it, but we'll put it right there for now. Okay, now the second thing that we're going to do is duplicate this. I'm going to do it a little bit differently. This way I'm going to just go ahead and grab my Bezier tool, and then what I'm going to do is just go ahead and click around on this design, basically creating a dot to dot for lack of better words. And once I've got that created, I go and then edit the curve so that it matches the curve of the object, and I'll go ahead and do this for each of the separate pieces. Now obviously that's going to take a little bit of time here, so I won't do them all, but just to give you a feel for it, this is kind of how it works. We'll do 2 of these, and then I'll skip over and do a flower really quick. Okay, so we've got this curving around the way that we want it to do right here. And this is just a matter of manipulating the node handles to change the way that the curve is shaped. And you can zoom in and get a bit more precise here, but just as an example. Okay, so now let's go over and do maybe one of these over here, these leaves. Same thing applies. We go ahead and just create the nodes that we need, and then we will edit the shape the way that it ought to look. And I'll do that for the rest of these things, and we'll see how long it's going to take us. I'm just going to pause it and come back with the final design. Okay, now that we've got the design finished, what I'm going to do is go ahead and zoom out here just a little bit, and I'm going to grab all the stuff that I've just done, and I'm going to put a contour on the outside of that, which let's just do it as the standard contour here, 0.09, and we'll break that apart. Now that we've got that done, we can go ahead and get rid of this original design. Let's fill this in the way that we want it to be filled in, and then we can go ahead and place it where we want it. Alright, let's say right about there. And we will mirror that over to the opposite side. And now we've got the design finished there. I think William's just a little bit too close to the truck, so why don't we bring that down just a tad bit. And once that is done, we will fill this in with the Georgia gray that we wanted to have. And now we've got our proof ready to send off in an email. So we'll just export that, something that we can email, and I will attach it, and we'll be done.